Good morning and welcome to today's daily reading. It's 8th of November 2023 and today's reading is from Wrinkles Don't Hurt by Ruth Fishel. November 8th. Usually we are much more interested in who started the fire than in putting it out. We go on and on about the object of our anger. And that's a quote from Larry Rosenberg. Anger is one of the greatest hindrances to joy. When we were younger, our tempers were often short-fused, and we had a tendency to just blurt out what we were thinking. As we age, many of us often keep our anger in, wanting to be seen as a serene person, or wanting to be liked, or not wanting to upset anyone. So our anger stays inside. He did this or she did that. The politicians promised this. My son said he wouldn't drink. These are some of the messages playing over and over in our minds. There's a different way to deal with our anger. Talk about it. Journal about it. Pray to have it removed. Ask yourself if you have any part in it. Ask if there is anything you can do about it. Ask yourself if this is how you want to feel. You might have to speak directly to the person whom you feel is the source of your anger. The most important thing is that you are willing to let it go. Today I am willing to turn over anything and everything that I am angry at to God and ask for it to be removed. It feels so free to be willing to let go and let God. Anger. Unlike the people that Ruth is writing about here, as we age, many of us often keep our anger in. I kind of have had the opposite effect. When I was young, I kept my anger in. When I was a child, I kept my anger in. As a teenager, I kept my anger in. Even, in my 20s and 30s, I tried to keep my anger in. Because growing up, anger wasn't something you were really allowed to be in my house. In my generation, I think, so we kind of stuffed down the things that made us angry. And there's, there is merit to thinking about how stuffing down our emotions can make us sick in various different ways, including emotionally and mentally. So, anger. I have let out so much anger in the last, decade, I suppose. Anger that has been gradually surfacing and asking to be let go of. Because when we hold on to our anger, the only person it's really harming is us. There's lots of analogies about anger, but one of the ones I like is thinking about anger as being a hot coal. And if we hold on to that hot coal, the only person it's burning is us. Okay, so we don't really want to be burned. Another way to look at it is that it's poison. So the only person it's poisoning is us. So we have to find ways to let our anger diffuse, to let it go, to let it not harm us. And I know sometimes we get righteous about it and we blame and we say, well, it's his fault and it's her fault and, it's the world's fault. But ultimately, we have to look at our part in our anger. And sometimes it's just part of a story, that we've made up in our heads. And if we can let go of that story, then we can let go of the anger. The peace that we find when we let go of anger is wonderful. One of my favourite places to let go of my anger is in the car. And sometimes I can scream until the interior is navy blue. And the afterwards, the observation of having done it, and that being another layer of my childhood anger and going somewhere, but not really affecting anyone except the insides of the car. We can find ways to do it. Maybe there's a gym, you do boxing, you punch a box, whatever they're called, the bag. You can go to the gym and just do a workout. You can go for a run, you can go for a swim. You can sit quietly in meditation and ask that the anger is released so many ways. And I'll come back and talk about anger again. But it's 5 minutes up. So I wish you a wonderful day wherever you are. Sending love to you all. Namaste. And I will see you tomorrow.